All right. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Zeeshan, Hasan, a tutor of advanced audit assurance. I myself possess more than 15 years of teaching experience to the ACCA students. I do teach various papers of ACCA, including business and technology F1, um management accounting F2, financial accounting F3, uh, corporate and law UK variant, performance management, finance reporting, audit assurance, SBL, strategic business leader, SBR, strategic business reporting, advanced performance management, and advanced audit assurance. In this class, we'll be discussing the recent current issue of advanced audit assurance, which is the role and mindset expected of professional accountants. It's a current issue published by the Advanced Audit Assurance Examination teams in technical articles. So this class is based on that, and mind you, this topic has very high chances that it can be tested in your future exams. So you must watch this complete class, and before the class, again, you must watch it so that you have a revision, right? So shall we start? Bring on. Now, the first thing first, the need for professional skepticism. ISA 200, that is overall objectives of independent auditor and the conduct of an audit in accordance with international standards on auditing, define professional skepticism as um, so ISA 200 overall objectives of independent auditor and the conduct of an audit in accordance with international standards on auditing defines professional skepticism as an attitude that includes a questioning mind. Your mind should be questioning, that is being alert to conditions which may indicate possible misstatements due to error or fraud, and a critical assessment of audit evidence. That is professional skepticism. Mind you, I'll give you a very easy and common example which I do face in every 3 months of ACC exam. Uh, when we first enter into the exam center, what they do check us. They do check our, equipments, the pens, and whatever we are carrying. They submit our cell phone at the corner by switching it off. Then we enter into the examination. We start our exam, and they keep an eye on us. They are not assuming that we are doing fraud or we are doing cheating. Also, they are not assuming that we are too honest students and we won't do any cheating. But they have an attitude, they have a questioning mind, they are alert to a conditions, to the possible scenarios that we may bring unauthorized material to do cheating. That's why they check us. That's why they keep an eye on us, that we are not asking from our fellow candidates about the question and all. We are not trying to do cheating. That's a professional skepticism. That's a questioning mind. That's being an alert to a condition. So that's the duty of auditor as well, that they should have an attitude that includes a questioning mind, being alert to a conditions, which may indicate possible misstatements due to error or fraud and the critical assessment of audit evidence. Well, nothing new in it, right? Uh, we have we have been studying it since our childhood. Now, in recent years, there have been a number of calls for the professional accountancy standard setting boards, for example, International Standards of Auditing, IASB, International Accounting Standard Boards, IFRS Committee, etc., etc., to review the way in which their existing guidance address professional skepticism with a view to strengthening the concept and requiring all professional accountants to exercise it rather than solely audit and assurance practitioners. Okay, they, previously what happened, it is the concept which was only exercised by the auditors, but now they are emphasizing, they're pressuring other uh, others as well. For example, accountant or internal auditor or financial advisor or the tax advisor. They should practice the this professional skepticism in their respective areas as well. Okay, so now, as we all know that professional skepticism is an important mindset for the professional auditor to adopt when planning and reviewing assurance engagement. IESBA revised key areas of the International Code of Ethics for professional accountants, which promote the role and mindset expected of professional accountants, and this includes the following. Number one thing, they are highlighting wide ranging role in society of professional accountants and relationships which exist between compliance with the code and the professional accountant's responsibility to act in the public interest. You know, it was solely, it previously, as I told, that it was only the duty of the auditors or the assurance practitioners to practice this professional skepticism. Now they are highlighting that this should have a wide range of professional accountants. Either you are an accountant in any company, either you are the internal auditor, either you are the finance advisor, either you are the tax advisor, either you are the data analytics, whatever. So there should be a relationship, they're saying, between the compliance, whatever the compliance they are following, IAS, IFRS compliance or the local laws and all, and with the code, and the professional accountant's responsibility should be that they should act in the best interest of the public as well, not only best interest of the organization, but in the best interest of the public as well. Number two, changes to the definition of the fundamental principles of objectivity and professional behavior. The addition of new application material. Now, these are the changes coming into the code of ethics. Now the number two thing, which is changing in the fundamental principles, that is the definition of objectivity and professional behavior. Number three, the addition. There is an addition of new application, the material in respect of the principle of integrity. So far, so good. Number four, strengthening the code through requiring professional accountants to have an inquiring mind when applying the conceptual framework and exercising professional judgment. And number five, emphasizing the importance of being aware of the danger of the bias when carrying out professional work professional work and professional firms have a positive internal organizational culture. These are the changes which are being proposed in this current issue in Code of Ethics. So let's move on. Firstly, now let's discuss about the roles and responsibility. The compliance with the code enable professional accountants to meet their responsibilities to act in the public interest. Okay, again, what are they saying? Again and again, they are emphasizing that the professional accountant should not only work in the best interest of the uh, should not only work in best interest of organization, but in best interest of public as well, right? Now, so, but they are in the memorandum IASBA, that is Standard International Ethics Standard Board, uh, concedes that compliance with the code itself does not necessarily mean that professional accountants discharge this responsibility in full. That what does it mean? It does. It's they're saying that they should not forget their duty towards the best interest of the organization. Yes, they have to work in the best interest of the organization. Uh, okay, they should not ignore it and fully, but professional accountants who are involved in a wide range of roles and responsibilities, roles, and acknowledge that organizations involve professional accountants, okay, in these activities because they recognize the skills and values that they bring to these activities. So, what does it mean? That they should work in the best interest of the public as well as in the best interest of the organization. Uh, they should bring the skills, their knowledge in the best interest of the organization as well as in the best interest of public as well. In the best interest of public as well. They have to be, up to date so that they can provide the best services to the activities and to the public. And they should discourage those things which are actually damaging in the best interest of the public. Now, let us discuss about the objectivity and professional behavior. The code states that the definition of objectivity requires the exercise of professional judgment. Yes, it does require. Okay. Uh, Without being compromised by factors such as bias, conflict of interest, or any form of undue influence or undue reliance on another parties. Now, let's do some revision over here. What does objectivity means? We have studied in our earlier studies in audit and assurance FA and in AAA as well. Objectivity means a person should avoid bias, discrimination, and conflict of interest. Now, what does conflict of interest mean? The conflict of interest means, for example, here, here you are, here's a person who is going for an audit of the organization known as Apple, right? On the way to his journey, he got the news that one of his uncle has passed away, and in the inheritance, he got 10,000 shares of Apple as well. Uh, of Apple as well. Now, what happens? He is the auditor of the Apple as well. Also, he is the shareholder of the Apple as well. And being in shareholder, he never wants that EPS of the Apple fell down. Fell down because now his professional is has a personal interest in it as well. So now the conflict of interest is that one is his professional interest who requires to act honestly, reports whatever comes, but his personal interest requires him to do not report anything which is adverse to the Apple because if something adverse happens, his share prices fell down, his wealth comes down. So that's conflict of interest, right? So let's come back. Also, so they without being compromised by factors such as bias, discrimination, conflict of interest, or any form of undue influence or undue reliance on other parties. Okay, the code considers the potential impact of the technological developments such as the code also consider the potential impact of the technological developments such as artificial intelligence and big data on the ethical behavior of professional accountants. That's the new thing here. That now code is considering the potential impact of the technological developments such as artificial and big data on the ethical behavior of professional accountants as a result of these concerns. The definition of objectivity highlights the risk of technology impairing a professional accountant's objectivity. And it is also a significant that IESBA has included automation bias in the list of example of bias. Okay. Uh, well, this reference to the technology in the fundamental principles and conceptual frameworks are aimed at recognizes the changes in assurance technology and their potential impact on compliance with the principle of objectivity within the code. The code defines the fundamental principle of professional behavior by requiring that professional accountants must behave in a manner that is consistent with the professional responsibility to act in the public interest. The code defines the fundamental principle of professional behavior by requiring that professional accountant must behave in a manner that is consistent with the professional responsibility to act in the public interest. They should avoid such acts which can deteriorate the reputation of the individual, of an individual, and ACCA or any profession or your professional body or your profession. For example, being an auditor, you should avoid being dishonest. We should avoid being fraud, to do fraud because if you do so, it won't only impair your reputation, but as a whole profession as well. What people will say? People will say that auditors are fraud, they are not good people. So they're saying that you should act in a way that and we should avoid such acts which can deteriorate or which can impair your reputation and your profession, your professional qualifications, uh, reputation. Okay, the integrity. Previously, the definition of integrity was that the previous definition of integrity was a person should be honest and straightforward in all professional dealings. That was the definition previously. Okay, which include a person should be honest and straightforward in all professional dealings. That's it. Now the changes. The code states that demonstrating includes having the determination to act appropriately when confronted with the dilemmas of difficult situations, providing the following examples what this might involve. Standing one ground when facing pressure to do otherwise during the course of performing professional activities. Challenging challenging others when appropriate, when doing so creates potential adverse personal or organizational consequences. So, what is the main thing over here? What is the main thing over here? See, that they are again emphasizing that we should be honest enough, that we should not be aware, we should not care about what will happen to your job, what will be the consequences for the organization you work. If something is going bad, ethically, morally, you should report it immediately. You should not be uh, the inclusion of the concept of determination to act appropriately in difficult situations. Its position within the principle of integrity emphasizes to do the right things regardless of the challenges faced by the professional accountant at times when the accountancy profession is under enormous pressure of and scrutiny. It seems the focus of the change to ensure that code convey it is one thing for accountant to know something is wrong, but actually having the courage to speak up will vital to compliance. See, next thing, application of the conceptual framework, having an inquiring mind. See how much they are emphasizing on it. And they are using the word professional accountant. Have you noticed they are not saying the auditor, they are saying professional accountant. So that means a accountant, a audit, a finance advisor, a tax advisor, a data analytics officer, whatever it is. Okay. So they're saying the professional accountants should have a mindset that encapsulates the following characteristics: the ability to obtain and understand information relevant for making reliable judgments based in facts, circumstances which are known to the professional accountants. One, the capability to make informed challenges of the views developed by others The sensitivity to the integrity of information, including the source of the information and the appropriateness of its presentation, be able to withhold judgment until careful consideration can be given to all known and relevant available information, right? So the code is aimed at promoting the need for professional accountants to be inquisitive and curious about the information available, about the the source of the information, about the reliability of the information, how accurate it is. They should also conduct the necessary assessments or investigation of the integrity, the relevance, and the sufficiency of that information to reach an informed decision. The application material within the code defines having an inquiring mind as being open and alert for situations or information that lack thereof that might require further investigation, considering whether there is a need to critically evaluate the information, where the need for extent and nature of any investigation, including critical evaluation, will depend on the nature, scope, and outputs of the professional activity being undertaken. So, which requires professional accountants to consider or remain alert to whether facts and circumstances have changed and therefore obliges them to exercise an inquiring mind in judgment they reach. The exercise of skepticism is a vital quality of all professional accountants. See, now application of the conceptual framework bias. It is important to heighten awareness of the risk arising from the bias. This includes making professional accountants aware of individual bias which may affect their application of professional judgment. In addition to this, the code includes illustrative list of other common form of bias, which includes a anchoring bias. What is it? A tendency to use an initial piece of information as an anchor, which subsequent information is adequately assessed. You know, the information, they are just recording the transactions or the information on the basis of the initial information. Okay, they're making it a base against which subsequent information, which is adequately assessed, they're ignoring it. Automation bias. Tendency to favor output generated from automated systems such as chat, GBT. Okay, for example, they use chat, GBT, generate the. They are reporting it, even though human reasoning or contradictory information raises questions as to whether it is reliable or fit for the purpose for which information is required or not. Okay, availability bias, a tendency to place more weight on events or experiences that immediately come to mind or are readily available than on those that are not. That means they are placing experiences based on that which they are coming into their mind, and the information or the things are readily available from various sources of information than those uh, which are not available, right? No matter what, how can it affect your decision making and all. Then we have confirmation bias, a tendency to place more weight on information that corroborates an existing belief than information that contradicts or casts doubt on that belief. a confirmation bias, that a tendency to place more weight on the information that corroborates, which are actually favoring your existing belief, than the information which is actually conflicting or contradicting with the cast doubts on that particular belief. They are ignoring other things, the group thing. Now, the group think bias, a tendency to think or make decisions as a group that discourages creativity or individual responsibility. Overconfidence bias, a tendency to overestimate one's own ability to make accurate assessment of risk, other judgments or decisions. For example, one is a manager and it's saying that okay, I'm more capable, I have more experience. So he's overestimating the risk and he's ignoring other judgments or decisions. That's overconfidence bias. Representation bias, a tendency to base an understanding on pattern of experiences, events, or beliefs that is considered to be representative. Selective perception, for a person expectations to influence how the person views a particular matter or person. One is more experienced, the other is less experienced. He's ignoring other perspectives and giving view to the one uh, who has the more influence over the people. That's selective perception. So, by raising awareness in the relevant to the potential form of bias, professional accountant can reduce the risk and impact of its effect on the ability to exercise professional judgment. They will be able to identify and mitigate for the subsequent threats created, such as thorough consulting others or seeking advice from experts, additional input or appropriate challenge, therefore enhancing the evaluation process. And finally, application of the conceptual framework, importance of organization culture. The code emphasizes that the importance of the positive internal organization culture to the effective application of the conceptual framework. By providing application material, it explains that ethical culture is most effective when leaders and those in managerial roles hold themselves and other accountable for demonstrating ethical values of the organization, appropriate education, training programs, management processes, performance evaluation criteria that promote that ethical values are adhered to in dealings with third parties. So it is also worth highlighting that the code works closely alongside the international standard on quality management. One, quality management for firms that perform audit for review of financial statements or assurance or related services engagement, which sets out requirements and applications material in the relation to the firm's responsibility to design and implement an effective system of quality management. So this is the current issue. I hope you get it. If you have any questions, etc., you can contact me on my WhatsApp, which is +9203021777736. Uh, that's it for now. Thank you.